weight as well. You can see where the challenges start to build up. No hesitation about going to 160, 15 months out of the ring.
No concern really. He's another man in my way that I've got to beat. I don't really look at him and go, oh, you're a big geezer. It's not really a concern to me. Ultimately, he's just an opponent in my way that I've got to beat. And you know, once I knock him out, I move back down to 147 and win the world title.
One thing I do want to address, and let's address it in public now, is the rehydration clause. Where are we on this? I don't know who to address here. If I'm going to Ben or Eddie, where are we on this rehydration cap? Ben?
Look, it wasn't something that we expected. It wasn't something that was agreed. I think the first fight, the weight limits, the rehydration, it got a lot of controversy and it wasn't right. This was something that was added in last minute. It's something that we'll deal with. Chris is a professional and he'll make it the way he should, but it's not something you typically see in boxing. Not at this limit, not on the day. And it's just another thing that puts a bit of a downer on the event, when at the end of the day this is an unbelievable event for British boxing, and it wasn't agreed until 24 hours before a contract was signed.
Okay, there you go. Eddie, any response to that?
No, I think
Eddie doesn't get a response. I've been very clear that Eddie is not.
One thing I'll tell you, because you better get some better people working for you, son.
It's okay.
Because I'll tell you something now, what you said was very spot on, Ben. It was agreed in the contract.
What was agreed was that the fight would happen and that Conor Benn can beat Chris Eubank Jr. at any weight. That was what was agreed.
No.
And all of a sudden we get demands from Conor and his team that...
You do know the first fight was £7 rehydration.
The original fight was 157.
I'm not worried about the original fight. You guys sprung it
hold on a minute.
About the rehydration.
You're not putting £8, £9. Stop talking rubbish, Chris, because that's all you've done all evening, is talk rubbish. You said your team come to my team, and in fact said about the rehydration clause, £89, that's what you put on after weighing, that's what you suggested, and we agreed. So stop pushing, stop covering your ass for when you get knocked out.
When
you get knocked out.
Okay,
we know what
that's who said that.
We know what we signed.
Let me guys just tell you how, from my perspective, how I went now.
It don't, honestly.
Eddie,
your man said when the contract.
Stop interrupting me, Eddie. Let me cook.
No, because you got a plum, and you signed the contract.
I did sign the contract, and I'm going to explain why.
You know why you signed the contract?
I'm going to explain why. I like a challenge, okay? When Eddie and Conor started demanding that there was a rehydration clause for this fight, guess what I said? Show me the money. Show me the money. That's what I said.
You know why?
If you're going to have that advantage over me,
poker, that's why you need the money.
if you're going to have that advantage over me,
You're shit poker, that's why you need.
got to have. Then you've got to pay top dollar.
This fight.
You've got to pay. I'm not going to give you that advantage for free.
Anyway, Eddie, let's sign
And that's exactly what they've done.
And that's why.
Apparently, he got all the money. He signed the contract.
That's right. They paid me
Congratulations. We'll see you Saturday morning
to
for the
do
weigh.
the rehydration
We'll
course.
see you there Saturday morning for the weigh.
As much as Eddie doesn't want to admit that for that to be public knowledge, that's what's happening.
What's public knowledge?
I'm being paid to restrict my weight.
No, you're on a weight penalty if you miss it.
No. I am physically being paid.
Oh yeah.
Do you really think
you got
I would
spun
ever
around
do
in
this
these
if there wasn't
negotiations?
some type of incentive?
See that geezer on your right, who I quite like now? He got spun around like a little kid on a playground on a roundabout. And every time he went round, I went, hello Ben, hello Ben, hello Ben. And he done a good job. He got you a good deal. But he knows what he signed. You know what you signed.
Chris was paid to do this.
I don't care what
Chris was paid to do
Good.
And
Good. Bottom line.
paid to Chris.
Listen, we were over the moon, we got 60-40 split in our favour. Next question.
behave.
Now, just a little bit more. Just a little bit more.
And also, one thing I want to say is this.
Stop interrupting me.
No, I've got something else
This
to
is not
say.
the Eddie Man show.
Are you going to make
I told
the
you
weight?
I don't want to hear you.
Are you going to make the weight?
I told you I don't want to hear you. That's not going to.
Are you going to make the weight?
Now, this rehydration situation, I've never done it before. Usually, I put on around 14 pounds after a weigh-in.
How long?
So I have two ways of approaching this now. I can either
You need to manage
restrict what I eat and drink so that I make the weight the next day, or I eat and drink as much as I want, rehydrate as much as I want, as I usually do, and then on the fight day, I'll jump in a sauna or a steam room for 40 minutes, get the 4 pounds off.
Covering your ass for when you get knocked out.
And then
that's all I'm hearing.
I'll hit that number that they want me to hit. I don't know which one I'm going to do. It's a gut thing, you know. On the day I will decide. But the fact of the matter is, it's actually irrelevant. Whether there's weight clauses, restrictions, it doesn't change the outcome of the fight. One thing that you all need to know that Eddie's tried to push hard over the last few weeks is that the IBF enforced a 10-pound restriction anyway at middleweight, so that's why this is safe. The truth is, that's a lie. The IBF...
They moved it to 12 recently.
Exactly, which is what he did not tell you, is that it's a 12-pound weight limit. So, just another example of Eddie lying to his teeth to the public to try and make himself look good.
Not at all.
Situation.
All down to negotiation, and as I said...
Why is it now that only people are only hearing you say it's 12 pounds?
Because that's the IBF rule that's
changed. Because you chat shit. Chris, you've been trying to pull the wool over people's eyes.
You said in the first fight,
I'm going to explain.
You only hydrate 5 or 6 pounds.
Why are you talking about the 5 pound? Why are you talking about the last fight?
Now it's 14 pounds.
Nobody cares about the last fight. We're talking about now.
Is it going to make a difference?
The IBF,
Chris, is it going to make a
£10 limit?
Chris, just get it open now. Is it going to make
not a £12 limit?
Is it going to make a difference in this fight?
Why are you talking to me? Conor,
let me ask you that.
Because your promoter is saying more on his label than Eddie.
But he isn't.
Is this Eubank or Eubank Ben?
Why the excuses?
This is pretty wild, actually, Conor. You're letting this guy chat for you. It's embarrassing. Say something.
I'm just answering your question.
I don't want to talk to you, Eddie. You're so unimportant to me, it's not even funny.
Ditto.
Chris, let me ask the question then. Will the rehydration clause make a difference?
Will it make a difference? I'm not going to lose the fight, if that's what you mean. Will I be affected? Of course I will. I'm being restricted from how much I can eat and drink. So there will be a slight disadvantage. But I'm being paid, so I will accept that challenge. It's very simple.
I want to bring in someone that knows all about the Ben Eubank rivalry more than anyone on this top table, and that is the great Nigel Benn on the end there. Nigel, here you go. This is the baton you've passed to your son to take the challenge. How do you feel this version of Conor Benn maybe differs from the version that was going to fight 2.5 years ago?
Well, I like to say he's matured in 2 years. It's like I'm more excited about this fight than it was with me and Chris Senior. I got more confidence in his fight, in my fight, than I fought Chris. Because the way Conor prepared for the fight, he's just excelled in everything that he's done. And people say, like, you know, he's moving up 2 weights. Conor walks around at 12 stone. That's not a problem. That's not a problem. The guys that he's sparred with, they're huge. And I believe it's not like, you know, what round he's going to do him in, what round. I think as soon as he hits much harder than Liam Smith. And I think once Conor put that pressure on him, Conor can do 12 rounds at pace. And you know what, if he wants to come in there at 60% against my son, mate. And you know what it is, Chris, I want to apologise to you because I remember you saying, like, you know, that I was disrespectful to your dad, so I'm sorry if I offended you saying that I hate your dad. I don't hate your dad because you know what it is? Through my stupidity. That was my stupidity. I'm a 61-year-old man, and you know what? I thank God for having Chris in my life because at the end of the day, we've done so much. We've left you lot to carry on the legacy. So at the end of that, but I apologise for what I said about hating your dad. Because you was going on about it, and at the end of the day, I just want to let you know, I'm sorry. But retribution is coming your way, mate, I'm telling you. It is coming your way, mate. You know, he's going to hit you so many times to the left, you're going to be crying for a right. He's going to hit you so many times, you're going to think you're surrounded. I'm telling you, mate.
I don't want to hear apologies.
He's going to put it on you, mate. I'm so confident, so confident, mate.
Good.
Nigel, what in Conor's career gives you the confidence that he's gonna beat Chris?
What gives me the confidence? Because I know my boy. He's got my DNA, but much better.
He's not even fought at British level.
No, listen.
Ben, go ahead.
Hold on, let me finish. I didn't fight for a British title.
But you fought for British and European titles. You fought, at 28 years old, Chris Eubank Jr was further than this.
At 28 years old, I've got a good 5 years left. I ain't in no hurry. So far what I have done is good. It's great. So far what I've done, I'm still undefeated.
Cool.
I don't even know why you're talking.
If you're that confident, no, we want to talk about contrast. If you're that confident,
oh shut up!
right?
Don't come out.
There's a rematch clause in this. There's a rematch clause in this fight, right?
You asked for.
But both fighters.
You asked for a rematch clause, Ben.
You were desperate for it.
Ben.
You were desperate.
You asked for a 2-fight deal.
2 paydays left.
You asked for it.
Yeah, 2 easy paydays.
All right. Okay. So you asked for the rematch.
Just to be clear. Both fighters were offered, so they want to take a number if they win or a number if they lose, right? The higher number if you win, the lower number if you lose. Chris, of course, the confidence takes the number.
You didn't want a second fight.
Connor decides win or lose, he wants the same number. So you can talk all in.
Classroom time. Listen,
no, Eddie.
You asked for the rematch. You asked for 2 fights.
It's easy to fight. You asked for 2 fights.
1 second.
Let's be clear.
No, Ben, see what you just said.
You wanted the same number, win or lose.
Hold on a minute. You see what you just said?
Yeah.
I'll put the messages about you saying to me, make sure there's a rematch.
Of course, it's 2 easy paydays.
Of course.
Nigel,
Ben, you've absolutely done yourself up.
Connor.